As you can see, folks, we're leaving Tower Pier now. We're going to head upriver. The next stop that we make along the way will be Westminster Pier for the Houses of Parliament, Big Ben, and then we'll travel over to Waterloo Pier as well for the Londons. And just as we leave the piers on the river here, folks, we are required by law to run you through a brief safety announcement. Nothing to alarm you, of course, but just to let you know that the vessel you're travelling on today, the Millennium Diamond, we are fully equipped with life-saving equipment. Now, on board this boat, we carry life rafts, we have life rings, and we also have life jackets. And in the very unlikely event of an emergency, please remain seated and follow instructions. Now, of course, as I did say, that is not to alarm you. Just sit back, enjoy the cruise, and we'll have you up to Westminster in about 25. Is everybody happy? Yeah, good stuff. Well, it's been an alright day today, at least it hasn't rained, so hopefully you've enjoyed yourselves. And hopefully, ladies and gents, so far, everybody on the boat has understood something that I've said. Because what I'll try to do, it's okay with you, as we go through London, is point out some of the buildings and the landmarks that we're going to go past along the line. Now, on board these boats, we are the crew, we attend to them. Over the years, we have learned about these buildings. If it's okay, I'll try my best to pass on some local knowledge from the film. Now, we do have these audio machines on the boat where we can just walk inside and it's play. It's a machine that's also we do tend to get much better feedback by giving a live commentary. So I'll leave it up to you, and we'll put it to the phone. Just a quick show of hands if you like the audio live machine. Just one. You like the live commentary? Pretty good stuff. Well, I'll give that a go. Now, I will apologise first of all. I can only speak one language, so I'm sorry about that. If anybody would like a translatory commentary, if you ask at the bar for one of the audio live headsets, they're free of charge. I'll just start the machine up now, and that will point out the buildings in a number of languages for you. Okay, so for everybody else, I'll try and point out the buildings and speak as clearly as possible, and hopefully it will be of some interest to you, okay? I'm not a multilingual tour guide, so if I do make any mistakes, just bear with me. Some of what I tell you might not even be true. Now folks, we'll start the commentary off. We'll start in the river to the left-hand side with the warship. We have the HMS Belfast. Now the Belfast, she was the largest and heaviest built light cruiser for the British Royal Navy. Now this warship she served during World War II, bombed the beaches of Normandy during the D-Day landings, and last fired her guns in anger during the Korean War campaign. The Belfast is now permanently moored in London as a museum, so you can go on board, look around, and it really does make a nice family day. And we go over to the right, it's a very nice building here behind the trees, the long white building, Waterloo House, London's headquarters for Her Majesty's Customs and Excise. If anything was to be smuggled into the country, things like cigarettes, alcohol, even drugs, it's all confiscated and they keep it in the basement of that cell. They do say at the end of every month it's destroyed. Rumour has it their Christmas parties are for them. And there's also a new building to the right, this glass building with the curved roof, number 20 Fenchurch Street.
I can see the guy on the balcony.
The top of that building, folks, the largest rooftop garden in the UK. You can see people on the balcony if you look to the top, and to go up there it is completely free of charge. Has anybody been up there? Nobody. I went up there about 2 months ago. Not a lot of people seem to know about it. If you wanted to give that a go, you can book online. Their website is the Sky Garden. Or if you've got your ID with you, it's worth just turning up to the building. You haven't got to book. If you've got your driving licence or passport, just turn up. If there's space, they'll let you go straight up. It's all free of charge. If not, there's another new building to the left. I'm sure you've seen it throughout London. This one's the Shard, the tallest building in Western Europe, just over 1,000 feet high. And again, the Shard is open to the public. And at the very top, double the height of the London Eye, there is a viewing platform. The views at the top are brilliant. The only downside to the Shard will cost you £30 Going beneath the most historical river crossing to span the Thames, this is the world famous London Bridge. As we go through, look left and right, there's the name of the bridge engraved into the stone. This is the 5th London Bridge over the river. It was opened in 1973 by the Queen. There's been a river crossing called London Bridge here for 2,000 years. And the first one was built by the Romans. Just out of curiosity, has anybody seen the old London Bridge? There are 2 people, it's in America, yeah? Yes, the old London Bridge, when it was here, it was sinking into the riverbed. It was taken down, stone by stone, and shipped over to America and rebuilt. It now spans Lake Amazon to Arizona Desert. It's there's a tourist attraction, the old London. It's not all in America. My granddad helped take it down. It's got a little bit of the rock around this pond in the back garden, so it's not all there. Now for the children on board, for the boys and girls, to the left there's a lovely old pirate ship, a replica to Sir Francis Drake's Golden Hind. Drake was the first Englishman to sail a ship around the world. He did so on a boat identical to that one. The replica is there today as a museum. Another nice place for the kids, the Golden Hind. Cannon Street, Railway Bridge, Cannon Street Station, the buildings to the right. That's about it. There's not really much I can tell you about this bridge actually. Cannon Street Railway Bridge. As we go through the bridge though, it's quite interesting. You look down at the water line brushing against the support columns and it gives you a rough idea of how fast this river moves. At the moment the tide is leaving London. And it's moving at a speed of about 4 or 5 knots. Very powerful tides we have on the Thames, and I will tell you more about the tide a little later on in the journey. If anyone fancy going for a few drinks in London, a lovely pub to the left, the little brick building over there is a pub called the Anchor. Parts of it dates back 400 years. It was built in 1615, and it's even said that the likes of Shakespeare and his actors would have used that pub. Very popular as well, the Anchor. Southwark Bridge, a very quiet bridge, all the main approach roads in the back streets making it hard to find. Not much traffic on the bridge, there isn't that many people. Okay, some of the people up there, give them a wave, they're probably lost. And it's for been there for days, look, it's smiling. As we come through Southwark Bridge, and for any fans of Shakespeare on the boat today, look ahead of us to the left, there's a round white building with a thatched roof. And that is the replica to Shakespeare's Globe Theatre. And this building was opened in 1997. And in the Globe Theatre they reenact Shakespeare plays. All the plays, they are set traditionally, as they would have been during the Elizabethan era. And I am told that the play begins, the atmosphere in the Globe is brilliant. Now that small building will actually seat just over 3,000 people. You can imagine it's very lively when the play begins. Also, I believe the tickets, they start from £5 each. I think that's a very reasonable price really to go and see the show. And then ahead of us, one of the newest bridges over the river, the Millennium Footbridge. You might know this one better by its nickname. It is also known as the Wibbly Wobbly Bridge. You see, when it was first opened, the bridge, it was swinging from side to side. The bridge was opened on a Saturday morning in the millennium year by the Queen. Closed the same afternoon by the police. It was wibbling and wobbling. They've now fixed the bridge, it's safe to go across. Some of the children may recognise it as well. It was used in the Harry Potter. Right, Harry Potter? It's a bit of a shame when this bridge was built, folks. If we follow it down to the right, there's a gap between the buildings. The bridge itself ruins a lovely view of St Paul's Cathedral. Now, St Paul's Cathedral stands 365 feet high. The building took 35 years to construct and was all designed by Christopher Wren. A magnificent building, I'm sure you will agree. The red brick building to the right, the City of London School. Same again, a recent famous person to attend that school, Daniel Radcliffe, who plays Harry Potter in the movies. That's where he actually went to school. It's not Hogwarts, it's the City of London School. To send your children to that school, it costs just under £75,000 a year. £75,000 a year. I want my kids to have magical powers as well for that money, wouldn't you? Very expensive. Another free attraction in London, back on the left, that brick building we've gone by, with the tall chimney, the Tate Modern Art Gallery. The largest modern art gallery in the world, and that's completely free to enter into. There's a very busy walkway along to the left as well. Back where we started our journey at Tower Bridge and all the way up to the London Eye, this part of London is known as the South End, and it's all on the riverfront. It's a very nice area to go for a walk. To get from one end to the other, it will take just over an hour. Very nice riverside walk. Lots of nice riverside pubs as well on the way. Blackfriars Railway Bridge, as we go under the bridge, left and right of the boat, you'll see these red columns. The red columns are the remains of the first railway bridge in London. The top of the bridge became unsafe. It was lifted off about 30 years ago. The red columns could not be removed. If they were lifted up, there was a good chance that this third bridge may have fallen down. So the columns were left in for safety, and this one is the Blackfriars Road Bridge, marks the halfway point of our journey. Now for a good bridge, and here to our right, a nice white building with a green sloped roof. That's the old City of London School for Boys, and that's where the likes of Winston Churchill gained his early education. On the front of the building there are 4 statues, 4 of the country's greatest scholars. Now from left to right, those statues are Isaac Newton, William Shakespeare, Sir Francis Bacon, and myself. Really, John Milton on the end, just making sure. There's quite a famous landmark up to the left, the Oxo Tower. Oxo is the name of a stock cube that's used to make gravy. It was once made in that building. Back then it was illegal to advertise on the riverfront. The company got away with the advertisement by incorporating the name of their product as windows. It became a famous landmark. The glass section on the roof of their building, one of London's top 10 restaurants. Very nice up there. That's very nice up there, but it is very, very expensive. A small bottle of water in that restaurant will cost you just under £20. A little bottle of water for £20. Don't get me wrong, it's very nice tasting water, but now speaking of water boats, as I mentioned the tide in London, at the moment the tide is leaving. The tide goes out to the North Sea, about 50 miles behind us, and it leaves for 7 hours. When it reaches low water, the tide will then turn, and it will come back into London for 5 hours. There is a rise and fall of tide on this river between 20 to 25 feet. That's about 7 or 8 metres, very loud tides. So if you look along the river wall to the right, the high water mark is that long moss wall. If we look just above the high water mark, on the wall, you'll see the green lion's heads. Now, years ago, the lion's heads were used as a flood indicator. Local police were told that if the tide were to ever reach the lion's face, they had to issue a flood warning. The police, they didn't have an old saying or an old rhyme that some of you may have heard. And the old rhyme goes that when the lions are drinking, London is sinking. If the water reaches their mains, we're all going down the drains. And if the lions' heads are fully ducked, London's completely flooded. Moving on, something that might interest the ladies. In front of us we have Waterloo Road Bridge, also known on the river as the Ladies' Bridge, and that's because it was built by ladies. The bridge was built during World War II, and that's when the men were fighting. It's the longest bridge in London, so well done to the girls. And as we get a bit closer to the bridge, look up to our left, see where those people are on the bush bikes, follow them down, and you'll see big chunks of stone missing from the bridge. They are actually bullet holes that were put into the bridge from German aircraft flying over London. So the ladies took fire whilst it was under construction and finished it off. So well done to the girls, the longest bridge in London. As we come through the bridge as well, just over to the white building with the green roof, that's the riverside entrance into the Savoy Hotel. One night's accommodation in the Savoy facing the riverfront will cost you no less than £700. And then also to the right, the oldest landmark you'll see on our journey today. On the river wall, there's a stone column, stone obelisk, Cleopatra's Needle. And this, folks, was made in Egypt 3,500 years ago. It was given to this country 200 years ago to celebrate Nelson's victory over Napoleon at the Battle of the Nile. Take your pictures from on the boat, because if you're travelling by bus or anything, on the other side of it you can't see it, the trees really block your view. So take your pictures, Cleopatra's Needle, the oldest landmark in London. And then ahead of us, the last bridge that we're going to go through today, the Charing Cross Railway Bridge. An old tradition in London, folks, as we go through the last bridge, we wave to the people. If we can get a wave back from the bridge, it's said to bring us 5 years of good luck. So how do you think? Sociable? Should we give it a go? They don't always wave back, don't they? Oh, that's Tony and Tracy. They're doing a brilliant job. We paid them to stand there. Now, there is a bridge on the other side as well. Keep waving, keep smiling. It does tend to stop people throwing things at us as well. So. Hello there. He's a right miserable sod, isn't it? Well, hopefully you all got a wave anyway. And now that we've come through the bridge, to the right there's a lovely building behind the trees, the Gothic style building, Whitehall Court Mansions, houses the 5-star Horse Guards Hotel, very nice older building. And then over to the left, we can't really miss it, towering above our heads, London's top tourist attraction, the London Eye. Standing 450 feet high, this wheel takes half an hour to go around. One trip on the London Eye will cost just under £20, and since opening it's carried over 50 million people. So it has now been voted as London's top tourist attraction. Last week a gentleman asked me a very good question. He said, how did the London Eye get here? Well, it wasn't rolled into London. It was actually built whilst it was laying flat in the river. It was all pieced together on pontoons, and then it was slowly winched into the upright position. Now the first attempt to lift the London Eye failed. The cable holding the wheel snapped, so the London Eye dropped back down. At the time, the London Eye was owned by British Airways, and Richard Branson of Virgin Atlantic decided it would be very funny to get a plane flying around in this area with a banner off the back that read, "Ha ha, British Airways can't get it up." I thought it was quite comical actually, but they lifted it eventually. Now stands as London's top tourist attraction. To get it standing to its full height took 72 hours. So I don't know if anyone watched the process of it being lifted. 72 hours. And then to the right, we have our destination, Westminster Pier. We'll go into the pier very shortly. We're just going to angle the boat for you so that you can all get a nice view, a nice picture of the Houses of Parliament and of course what's known throughout the world as Big Ben. Now I'm pretty sure that we all call the clock tower Big Ben, although it has got an official name, and that folks is the Elizabeth Tower. It was known as the Great Clock of Westminster, but 4 years ago, to celebrate the Queen's Diamond Jubilee, that was the Queen's 60th year on the throne, it was renamed the Elizabeth Tower. The name Big Ben is given to the bell inside the tower, and that bell strikes the hour and the hour only. The bell that we just heard chiming was the Westminster chimes. They go every 15 minutes. Big Ben only strikes the hour. And the bell was named after a man called Benjamin Hall. He was the man in charge of the building's construction when the bell was coming into use. And whilst you're here at Westminster, I'd highly recommend walking around Parliament to take a closer look. Very, very nice detail building, worth seeing whilst you're here. And then also a 5-minute walk away, look to the right of Big Ben through the gap in the buildings, Westminster Abbey, where all the coronations have taken place over the years, many royal weddings and funerals all inside that building. A nice angle for you folks with your cameras. And then what we're going to have to do is straighten the boat up, and we're going to start to make our way alongside the pier. And ladies and gents, just until the boat is safely tied up, I could ask you just remain in your seats. As you can imagine, the boat you're on today is very heavy. If there's a bump, the last thing we want is anyone falling over. So just until we are safely tied up, please stay in your seats. If you are standing up, hold on and and a bit of journey information so you don't get lost. If anyone would like to continue the tour by bus, the bus stop is just behind us there to the right on the main road. Just where that white boat just pulling away from now. That's where the buses go to continue on. If you'd like the underground, Westminster tube station's at the top of the pier. You have to walk past it on the way out, so you won't miss that, Westminster tube station for the underground. If you are leaving us, have a quick look where you've been, make sure you've got everything. Don't leave anything behind to ruin your day. Take your bags, your cameras, your hats. Most importantly, you have internet. Take your children. It's quite shocking the amount of people that leave their kids behind. Don't just take the favourite ones, they will take all of your children. And lastly though, ladies and gents, well, thank you very much for your kind attention to be paid for London. Now I am aware there are lots of people on the boat that probably haven't understood too much of what I've said. Thank you very much for your patience, it's appreciated. And if I may, just a brief word, a quick mention about the full tribulation. As we said on board these boats, I'm sure it's become obvious that we are the crew. It has become a tradition over the years that we point out the buildings, and hopefully it has been of some interest for you. Folks, there is an old tradition, because the commentaries are done by us, in the way that if anybody on board has maybe understood or even enjoyed the few words I give, if you would like to show a little token of appreciation for my efforts as a tour guide, then you can do so as you leave. Down at the exit gates, I will be there to help you on, and you'll see me holding the old ice bucket, the old tin bucket. Anything that goes into the bucket, greatly appreciated, and we do accept all major credit cards, bank cheques, ladies' telephone numbers. the gentlemen's telephone numbers for the very open minded. Everything's all sorts, is right. All joking aside though, folks, whatever the outcome, thank you very much for listening. I hope you enjoyed your little cruise with us. If you're leaving us here at Westminster, have a lovely evening. I might see you a bit later on as well. But all the best, and thanks again for listening. Have a nice day. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Jadi